Wreck My Podcast! Nothing can rain on our parade because this week we're in the Biodome. Grab some purple sticky punch and enjoy this episode. Wreck My Podcast! Welcome to the Wreck My Podcast. I'm here with my guest this week. He's so flexible he can lick his own back. It's Cam.
My neck, my back, my peener, and my crack.
He is of the male persuasion. It's Kreger.
Hell, I'd choke a dolphin to get in her pants.
Good luck. Did you write that line down?
Yeah.
I saw him check his phone. Oh my God.
I watched it with
When
him.
we watched it, I was like, I got to bring this up
Ridiculous.
on the podcast.
If he was yogurt, he'd be a fruit on the bottom kind of guy. It's Joe.
That's actually exactly what I was going to say. If you were yogurt, would you be fruit on the bottom or fruit mixed in?
And I've got a wicked itch on my nads. I'm your host, Jordan.
You should get that checked out.
I should get that checked out. Guys.
You have been a bit crabby lately.
Ooh.
He's
so,
got some crotch stations.
Station. Because you're crabby.
Oh my God. Okay, guys, did you guys know this movie is actually a lot more autobiographical than I thought it was going to be? Yes. I'm teasing that, so you stick around till the fun facts, and I tell you why it's very autobiographical. But
Spoiler, they're not that fun.
with that, you know what would be very helpful is
Pauly
if
Shore
we-
actually snuck into a biodome?
No.
And he wrote it?
No.
Then why is it autobiographical?
I'll tell you later. But let's watch the trailer real quick here. So
He
the
got locked
people-
into a mall for a year.
Yeah, this is Mallrats 4.5.
damn.
So let's watch the trailer real quick so everyone can see just what Pauly Shore and Stephen Baldwin are like in a movie together. It's kind of like Jay and Silent Bob, but way, way worse. So here we go.
Because both of them talk.
The Biodome, a pure, self-contained environment where 5 scientists are about to be sealed off from every conceivable form of contamination, except one.
Well, check out that mall, man.
Our dream is finally at hand.
What kind of mall is this?
Get them out of here!
The doors are sealed for 1 year. We're stuck here.
That's right.
12 months?
Yes.
52 weeks.
Yes.
385 days?
Now, the whole world is watching as Bud and Doyle are separated from their loved ones. Learn about endangered species.
They're the rarest Lepidoptera in the world.
Experience nature firsthand. And become world-renowned protectors of the planet.
Purple sticky punch, or hemp, is an excellent source of photosynthesis.
Just because we're stuck in a bubble doesn't mean we can't cause any trouble.
On 3, 3.
This winter,
Welcome to paradise!
Pauly Shore and Stephen Baldwin
Trick or treat!
are doing whatever it takes
I feel like a duck-billed platypus.
to put the mental back in environmental.
Well, could you at least make it taste like chicken? Otherwise, I'm gonna shrivel up like a supermodel. I am so fat. Nobody likes me. People didn't like me in high school.
Biodome.
Iron Man, does whatever and I can.
Hold it. That's Spider-Man.
Come on, what do you think? You're some rocket scientist?
Yes.
Sorry.
So it's great. In the 90s, remember when every trailer had to have some type of pun? Like putting the mental back in environmental? And also, isn't the 90s a great time where both the Me Too movement and LGBTQ community can get pissed off about everything happening in this movie?
Oh, gosh.
Like, there were so many times where I'm like, okay, that wouldn't fly today.
Yeah.
That like we talk about that how things wouldn't fly. This movie was just like the highlight reel of what wouldn't fly.
They say an offensive term in that one.
Yeah, they do.
It made Cam visibly upset.
Multiple offensive terms. Yeah. I mean, this movie is definitely a product of its time.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Still better than Parents.
You know what's funny about this movie though is I laughed a few times through it, but I still hated it.
Hold on.
So
when did you laugh?
there were some times sometimes when Pauly Shore would do something, I'd be like, that's pretty funny because he's good at like physical comedy sometimes.
Is he, or does he just make sounds? All he does is
not
make
the sounds. Like when he would like be running around and doing stuff or whatever. I'm the kind of guy that laughs when someone slips on a banana peel. Like so
I would,
laugh at
ladies and
that.
gentlemen, I'd like you to go back and listen to Jordan hating on other things in the past like month. So.
I'm hating on this too. I did not like this movie.
No,
you know why we're watching this movie? Not because
I had a
Wayne.
question about that.
Wayne.
Because
our new patron Wayne asked
yes.
us to watch this, which he loves this movie, which is fine. It's a Pauly Shore movie.
Wayne, it's not fine. It's not fine.
Wayne, my middle name is Wayne, and you're doing Wayne's a disservice anyway by liking this.
This movie. Now, here's my question though.
I have a lot to complain about.
Come Wayne. What's your name?
Wayne. I don't know if we want that. So. My question is, had any of you watched this movie before
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Dear Lord,
Okay.
no.
I had never even heard of it.
Didn't even
seen
know it
it
was a
once.
thing.
So Cam's the only one who had seen it.
Yeah.
And how young were you when you saw this?
15.
Did you like it then?
No.
Well, you've always been kind of like the pretentious guy. So.
Yeah. I mean, you mean a man with taste?
Sure. I have
Wow.
taste too. It's called McDonald's.
That was even more
Taco Bell.
pretentious.
That's
that
why I
sounds
said
good.
You mean taste?
Yeah.
So here's my thing. We always have that weird scale here, or the line where it's like, if you're young enough to enjoy
The nostalgia
it, you're older.
curve.
The nostalgia curve. Yeah, the Becky Blixen line. So I don't know.
Yeah, Becky.
But, so I guess my question is, let's go around the table here. What did you think? Hey, that's a joke from the movie.
Yeah. Krieger and I watched it together. And
Cute.
we were like, well, we got to watch this.
We watched it
because-
together as one.
Did you have the purple sticky punch?
I think we did.
Oh.
Yeah, we did. And it still wasn't funny.
You know what? Wayne likes to enjoy
Does
a
he?
little bit of the hepatitis. So
Oh my gosh.
That is my new favorite.
I don't like
so
that.
maybe that's the key. But if you guys didn't like it while using, maybe not then.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I laughed a grand total of 0 times, and I think I sat with just like a straight face the entire time.
But to be honest, that's how many times you laughed during the new It movies too,
Also-
and those are a bit better.
Also, you weren't in a great headspace either, so.
Very true. But
Yeah.
nonetheless,
But-
it's made it worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I actually was like not in a great mood on Sunday either. But like this movie was just trash.
This is prime
And-
Krieger movie, in my opinion, though.
No,
It's like Rocket Man,
There,
Kind of is.
just on space, or not
It
in
is.
space.
In a dome.
In a
Yeah.
dome.
there was zero. Well, the problem is how you said you laughed a little bit, Pauly Shore. The Baldwin was so
Oh, Stephen Baldwin's
terrible.
awful in this
Yeah,
movie.
he's
and
awful.
and it wasn't like he was distracting. He was a nuisance and like frustrating. We're just
Yeah.
like if this movie would have been like somewhat palpable if they just CGI'd him out of it.
I mean, I do have a soft spot for Pauly Shore, so that's why like at flies. But Stephen Baldwin was.
I
just
don't
like,
understand how you can have even like a calloused spot for Pauly Shore.
I think he's.
I think growing up with the Goofy movie
Yeah.
and like my favorite character was Leaning Tower of Jesus.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder why we're always like wearing gloves?
It's just
And,
like
like-
seeing that being embodied in
and,
a
like,
physical person.
And like I liked Encino Man, so like
Oh,
You know,
I
it's
hated
funny
Encino Man
because
too.
I did not like this movie.
yeah.
But I actually liked Pauly Shore more in this than I did in Encino Man.
Yeah, he was
He's-
better in this.
It's because he's
but
the lead
still
in this
terrible.
compared
Yeah.
to the other movie where they kind of shoehorned him into it.
It's not squeezing the jizz.
Krieger, so you didn't like this movie either?
not at all.
Not at all. Joe?
Nope.
Nope, not at all. Okay, I found
the only
myself.
redeeming factor. Nah, never mind.
I found myself not as bored as with a lot of movies that we watch. But again, I did not enjoy this film until I started like finding out a little bit more about it. Then I enjoyed it a little bit more in the sense of like I'll explain later. No, another tease. All right. here's the thing. There's some talking points I want to talk about here before we get into the
Talking
info about
point
this
number
movie.
1. Wayne is wrong.
Well, talking point number 1, short-haired Pauly Shore just doesn't feel right
It
to
does
me.
not. It does.
I
not
don't
feel right
like
at all.
Yeah.
short-haired Pauly Shore. Hey, Krager, move your mic so it's like more straight on. There you go. Oh. Second, my question is, so what were they trying to prove in the biodome? That when you create a perfect environment, you can continue to have a perfect environment when you only have 4 people living in it?
I think they're trying to prove that not all Baldwins should be actors.
They're trying to create pure natural homeostasis.
But I feel like that's easy to do if you like fabricated a dome and you have 4 or 5 scientists in there only.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not
but
the Earth.
They brought people in to be in a dome.
Earth is my planet.
The biodome.
Another thing.
The movie's stupid.
Here's the thing. If I were, and I read reviews about this, if I were to go see this movie in theaters and 5 minutes in I see freaking Stephen Baldwin biting a corn off of Pauly Shore's
Yes, the
toe,
grossest thing.
I would be out of there in 2 seconds.
The grossest thing I've ever
I
seen.
I almost like
Yeah,
I almost was like
gaggy.
turn it off.
Yeah, I was gaggy at that point.
And why did it have to be for like 2 minutes?
Yeah, it was so long. And then they like actually hadn't spit it out. It was,
Yeah.
it was so bad.
It's also I these movies where it's like these like attractive like women who have like at least like some semblance of like common sense and like are trying to do something with their lives. How they're always with these like just
I was
total
just going to say, how are they together?
like
Yeah.
with these, like,
90s
these
movies.
trash people who have no ambition.
That's a
in life.
90s movies trope. These like
It's not even 90s movies. It's all movies. It's part of the male gaze of cinema if you read Laura,
guess that's true.
Laura
You're-
Mulvey's
Yeah.
article.
You're right.
And that's why like really like frumpy men are like, I only pull 8s and 10, like 8 to 10s, but they're like a 3.
Yeah.
And they're like, why doesn't she talk to me? It's like, because you're gross, dude.
That's true.
Yeah.
Hey guys, first Jordan laugh part. So I when the girls were saying that they met some swimmers and they go grape smugglers, that made me laugh. I like that. That's funny.
Cam was like, "What's a grape slug?" I'm like, "I don't know.
It's a
I think,
Speedo."
yeah, I was like, I think it's a Speedo because like the
Yeah,
balls are like
these-
grapes.
Yeah, grape smugglers. I thought that was funny. So here's another thing. I don't think that Pauly Shore or Stephen Baldwin were acting in this movie. I think what they were doing were goofing around while actors around them were acting. I'm pretty sure that's what was going on in most of this movie.
That's what I said.
That's
to
pretty much
Krager.
what Cam said.
Yeah,
while we
because
watched the movie.
they'll like be doing something and they'll essentially just start like laughing, and you're like that like. No, I don't think they had scripted lines. I think they were just like go in there.
There were barely any lines. It was them making sounds at each other, the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense why Pauly Shore isn't a successful stand-up comedian anymore because his stand-up comedy actually just that sound the whole time for an hour. You
Yeah.
want to watch that on Netflix? I don't think
No.
so.
If
Let's
you
go
write a
make some mac and
script,
cheese.
if you write a script for Pauly Shore, do you write in all those sounds?
Yeah, you write like just PFN.
He's like, do I fart or make the squirrel noise? I don't know.
In the parenthetical, it's like emphatic.
I also kind of
And then he'll
like
screw up and be like puff and puff and puff and puff puff.
the only I think so the writing team for this movie. Yes, it had a writing team.
An entire team.
3 people.
Were
None of them.
a curling team.
Were they chimpanzees?
No, they were walruses. No, none of them had written pretty much anything except this movie.
Wow, surprising.
The one line, though, where I was like, okay, they probably put a little thought into this, was when they're like, they aren't terrorists, they're worse, they're junior college students. I was like, that would be funny in another context. But in this movie,
In what
doesn't
context is
work.
that funny,
No, because
too?
that's funny, because it's like, they're so dumb, but like, they're, I don't know. I thought that was funny. Anyway.
Did you see the like school motto or tagline for
yeah,
that
I was
junior
just
college?
going to say, what was it, Joe? I
It
have
was
written down. Oh, I have it.
nothing to be ashamed
Yeah,
of.
nothing to be ashamed of.
Nice.
And do you know where they filmed that?
That was my nickname in high school.
COC.
Valencia High School.
Oh,
right.
man.
Oh, wow.
Oh, like literally across the street from us.
I
up,
went there
like,
my
a block
freshman
up.
year.
Yeah.
I
You know
went-
what's-
Did you really?
Yeah.
I
know
went
that.
there never.
You know what's really crazy? Because they also filmed in Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
Well, they
We're-
referenced Vasquez Lake.
Yeah, Vasquez Lake. Like, what the heck? We watch so many movies filmed out here.
Yeah.
So many movies.
Yeah.
We're kind of a big deal.
I know. It's crazy. All
Everything
right.
is shot here.
It's funny
You know what's
because.
surprising? Santa Clarita Diet was shot out here too.
Oh my gosh, you would have thought.
Weird.
What?
It's funny how many times I watch movies and TV shows and you can pick out where that was filmed.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
every time I watch New Girl and they go to LAX, I'm like, that's
Yeah.
the convention center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not fooling anyone. There's literally it doesn't even look like an airport outside. It looks like a regular street in downtown area outside.
We're very much Californian right now.
Yeah,
this
I
podcast,
know.
we're like, it's not even.
I'm
it look like it's actual
if you
location.
Take the 405 and off, and you take Mulholland.
I'm actually very happy that Charlie Shaw told me that Dallas is considered Cowboy California. So I'm moving to Cowboy California.
How? Just in climate?
He said,
Get
because
along, little
Northern
loggy.
is more. It gets more liberal as you go north, and Dallas itself is more like California climate and culture compared to the rest of the state. And
Even
Austin,
more than
obviously.
Austin? Yeah.
Austin, obviously, too. But I'm happy about that. Anyway, going back to this,
Cool.
Bud wants to die and come back as a leotard. That is a thing.
Oh, that's just.
Did he realize that men wear leotards too?
No.
No, I don't think he did. Although he does say he's bisexual at one point in this movie as a joke,
Which is such a funny joke.
right? And then like licky tongues in the air together, like
Yeah.
oh we're gonna make out, but not really,
But ha, ha, ha,
that'd be
that's
gay.
gay.
Yeah.
Biodome. Think that means it goes both ways?
I don't know, but we do.
Happy
Go
Pride
both
Month,
ways.
everybody.
Yeah. You know what made this movie more 90s than anything to me?
The homophobia.
That and the fact that there's the principal source of protein is soy.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows in the 21st century now that much soy is not good for you.
No.
Back in the 90s, like the vegan alternative was
Yeah.
soy everything. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, that don't fly no more.
No.
Can't you make it taste like chicken?
You can now. I eat so many vegan things that taste just like chicken. It's great.
Do you guys know about Hufu?
No, what's hufu?
Human flavored tofu for
like
the
a
cannibal that
weefu?
wants to quit?
What? That's not a real
I
thing.
just made it up.
Yeah, I'll take some hufu. Why does it sound like some derogatory Japanese term?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
Jordan,
either.
I don't know. Why are you thinking
I
that
don't
way?
know. Why are their nicknames Squirrel and Stubbs? Where's the Stubbs come from? And they never mention that's their nickname. Just all of a sudden they're like Squirrel and Stubbs, like 30 minutes into it, and then from then on they refer. And I'm like, inconsistent, but okay.
This is another ad lib thing.
Yeah, like what does that even supposed? What does Stubbs mean?
I don't know. But also, why does Pauly Shore have to be like different rodents? He's a weasel.
He's a weasel. I don't know.
He's a squirrel.
Yeah, I don't know. Where is Pauly Shore today? What is he doing?
I don't know.
Is he doing
He's
something?
still in the biodome.
I'd assume he's probably somewhere with Andy Dick because they seem like they go well together.
Probably.
They probably hang out.
He's
Yeah.
in the biodoomy.
We saw Tenacious D make a cameo in this movie.
Yeah,
which is
Yeah.
kinda
it was
cool.
actually
that was actually the best part.
Yeah,
I called that too. Like, that's Jack Black's voice.
Oh,
100%.
yeah, I knew at the
Yeah.
moment they started singing. Yeah.
50 is to save some trees. We just want to save some trees. Don't say we didn't save some freaking trees.
I was honestly
that was their first video
Appearance?
appearance.
That's
yeah.
so cool.
Nice.
I was honestly like let down. I was like, oh, maybe they're gonna have like a little bit more of a part. It's literally
No.
just like 2 seconds, and I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah,
not
that's
good
kind of a
enough.
bummer. I also a part I liked is that they try to use psychological torture like they did at Waco, but with the safety dance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that is kind of funny, but again, like in the realm of like we're watching Tremors, you know.
Tremors is funnier than
Yeah,
this.
I think so
Absolutely.
too.
Oh, Tremors
Yeah.
is way better than this.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Wayne gives us money. So
This just in, we lost
yeah,
Wayne.
we lost $3. No, Wayne actually has really good taste in a lot of other stuff. I'm just
Just
kind of
not this.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he wanted us to do this one because none of us had really heard of it. Mostly,
Yeah, I saw it when I was like
and
14.
you saw it when you were younger, and it was never really like on my radar to actually care about watching this. Like I had heard about this movie as like the Golden Razzies and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
but I never like knew the premise and really cared to watch it. So when he said that, I'm like, I'll check it out because I mean. That's what this podcast is about: is checking out these movies like Butterfly Effect 2 that we would have never checked out.
give
Oh,
us-
that was terrible.
Yeah, you give us money and make us miserable.
Yeah, so that's fine.
Fair trade.
Hey, I am a masochist with anxiety, so I make myself miserable for free most of the time.
And
so,
I just give my mask a kiss.
yes, there you go. Don't do that. Those masks are dirty, man. You get COVID all up in your boogers.
This just made me realize my disdain for whichever Baldwin that is.
Steven.
I'm still.
What other movies was he in? Usual Suspects.
Super Shark.
So what's Super Shark?
I don't know. I know he's in a movie with sharks in it. And they like engulf him while he's on a sea-doo.
What?
30 Rock, Fun with Dick and Jane.
He's not in 30 Rock. That's Alec Baldwin.
Donald Trump
That's
on
also-
SNL. Hunt for Red October.
That's a good stuff right there.
He also has sweaty balls.
He does have
He
sweaty
does.
balls.
He
Yeah.
really does.
So let's talk about this movie a little bit. It came out January 12th, 1996. January 12th. January, not the month of movies that just are dumping ground for crappy
that's
movies.
terrible.
It had a $15 million budget. $15 million.
That's pretty low.
No.
Well, they had to
for
build the
this-
Biodoomy.
For 1996 for a
Oh.
movie like this?
Oh,
like
that's a lot
$6
for
million.
this type
Come
of
on.
movie.
Oh, I don't. I
No.
assume like okay.
It only made $13.4 million.
He's in a movie called Shark in Venice,
Oh, nice.
and it's
That-
Venice, Italy.
That sounds like a delightful tale
And
about a
it's-
shark that goes to Venice and falls in love while drinking wine under the sunset.
And it's in the canals of Venice.
the canals.
You can't.
That actually sounds like something you would watch.
I would watch this in a heartbeat.
Oh, you know what we gotta do? We gotta watch Bubba Hotep for Cole before.
Oh
I
yeah,
leave.
big time.
Yeah,
Ooh.
we definitely got to.
Fun news. The project I'm working on at work. They're probably gonna have me go out into the field and install it, and it's being installed in Atlanta.
Nice.
Ooh.
So I might be able to get to see Cole later.
Nice.
This
That'd
year.
be cool.
This is Stephen Baldwin in Shark 3 Boogaloo. What is it? What is it?
Shark in Venice.
Shark in Venice.
That's him wearing a wetsuit, looking so not good looking.
It looks like he's trying to look like Kane.
Well, I was gonna say Stephen Baldwin looks like a caricature of Alec Baldwin that Helen Keller made.
Jordan just
What's wrong with that? She's
over the top.
What's wrong with that? She's also dead. Who cares?
Who cares? You can't say anything. Is that what I just said? Is that worse or better than the fact that 303 has a line in one of their songs that says "Shake
Shush
your hips
girl.
like Helen Keller"?
Do the Helen
Do
Keller
the Helen
and talk
Keller.
with your hips.
And talk with your hips. That's it. Yeah. Which one's worse?
303.
Okay.
100%.
Because
Yeah.
millions of people heard that. Only 12 people heard mine.
yeah, and at least she was being artistic in yours. Like she drew
Yes,
something,
yes.
and in that one they were just like, "Shake your butt, girl, but don't talk."
I immediately regret saying that.
No, you're good. It's not
okay,
that bad.
Okay.
It's not as bad as-
Cam is my like Jiminy Cricket when it comes to offensive things. Am
I'm
I
your
too
offensive conscience.
Yeah,
that's not good.
am I
'cause
too
Cam is the
offensive?
one who just said like a week ago, "Yeah, screw that kid. I drew
Oh, but
it."
that was funny though.
But the difference is that he goes far enough that no one thinks he's actually saying it. Mine can be like someone would actually take offense to it.
Yeah.
You know, so
I can guarantee
like
I've
Helen
made
Keller's
I've
grandchildren.
made a more offensive joke on this podcast.
I'm just trying to picture Cam as Jiminy Cricket.
That'd be cool.
What did Jiminy Cricket sound like? Hey guys,
It wasn't that.
hey, it's me, Jiminy Cricket.
Fat Albert.
Let's get back to this movie.
I can.
I'm culturally insensitive.
I'm gonna let you guys guess what the critic score was on
One.
this movie. One. All right.
1 unit.
One. What do you think, Craig?
I'm gonna go with 12.
Okay.
Yo, 12's low.
I was thinking the exact same.
Yeah.
I was thinking like 18.
4%.
I was so
Cam
close.
was very close. 4%.
This
But
movie's terrible.
But it has a 51% audience
You're way
score.
too high.
Why can't we
Yeah.
guess
I mean,
that
that's
one
still
too?
an F.
It's still, yeah. I mean,
still an F.
I mean, it's just Wayne going on there, upvoting it 5,000
Yeah.
times.
Fucking Wayne.
51%. It was filmed in. I told you it was filmed out here and at Valencia, but
Mojave
the
Desert.
biodome part where they're at the entrance area with the ramp. That's the Japanese gardens in Van Nuys.
Oh, sick.
At the what's the thing called? The something Tillman.
Botanical Gardens.
Not the botanical gardens. No, it's the something Tillman.
I grew up in Van Nuys and have never heard
The
of this.
Donald C. Tillman Water Reclamation Plant. That's where the Japanese gardens are in Van Nuys.
I
That's
grew
a lot
up-
of
I
words.
grew up in
Yeah.
Van Nuys and I've never even heard of that.
I've never been to this. I did see it on a list of best places to get married out here. A long time
not the
ago.
courthouse?
That's not.
Not the courthouse.
Well, Van Nuys is where you definitely want to go to get married because that's where where they make porn.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, great for bachelor party and then getting married. It was directed by a guy named Jason Blum. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Actually,
from,
yeah. Sounds
Doesn't
familiar.
doesn't he have gold doubloons?
He's Orlando's cousin.
That would be amazing. No. Pretty much this was one of the 2 movies he directed, and he's directed some episodes of Veronica Mars and iZombie, and that's about it.
iZombie makes sense.
Yeah.
You don't
it's-
like iZombie?
I've never even watched it, so I don't know. Kreger has the comic Chew right in front of him.
Chew's
which,
great.
Which is what iZombie was pretty much based off of.
I love Chew.
So Pauly Shore and Stephen Baldwin are obviously in this. William Atherton played Dr. Faulkner. He was in Ghostbusters, Die Hard. and he's slated to be the voice of Drew Pickles in the new Rugrats coming
Really?
out.
That makes sense, though.
Yeah.
That'd be
I
fine.
think that'd be cool.
I can see that.
How do you say her name? Kylie Minogue?
Yeah,
Yes.
Kylie Minogue.
Minogue? Yeah, she played Petra. I wanted to mention her because she
Can't get you out of my head. Think about
What is she in a music video?
No, that's her song.
her song.
Oh, she has a song. Wait, is she a housewife or something?
She's a musician.
She's a singer.
Is
Wait,
she?
are we talking
Yeah.
about the redhead from the movie?
The one who was one of the scientists.
Yeah, the redhead.
The shorter one.
The
Yes.
redhead.
Yes, sure. I don't know. I don't remember what her hair was like. Did you know she played Cammy in Street Fighter the movie?
No.
Which is also a movie we will be covering on this podcast.
But wait,
soon.
so she's a musician?
She is a musician.
Yeah.
Why are you
So
pointing at them?
I don't because that's the movie.
Oh, okay.
She.
She.
The title Biodome.
Oh, this is Kylie Minogue?
Is she foreign, or is it a fake accent? So it's a fake accent.
No, that's just what they sound like in Canada.
That's not what they sound like in Canada.
Oh! I totally know this song. Why did I think this song was always a gorilla song? Because I had no idea this. I thought it was a Gorillaz song.
It's la la.
It sounds like the girl that sings in the Gorillaz.
That song came out in 2001.
Yeah,
Nice. So 5 years after this movie, she made it big. And check her out as Cammy in Street Fighter. So Joey Lauren Adams played Monique, the girlfriend to Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
She was in Breakup, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Dazed and Confused, and like 120
And
other
Chasing Amy.
There you go.
Yep, Chasing Amy. I was gonna save that one for the end, but
Wasn't she Lebanese in that movie?
I don't get that joke. I haven't seen Chasing Amy in so long. Is there a joke about a Lebanese person?
He's saying
lesbian. I get it. All right. Did you guys see Rose McGowan show up for like a hot second in this movie?
Rose McGowan?
Yeah, she was the friend.
Like Shooter McGowan got married?
No. Monique and Jen, the girlfriends, that girlfriend that showed up to invite her party, that's Rose McGowan.
Yeah.
From Planet Terror, Death Proof, Ghost Grindhouse,
Wasn't she
Scream.
pregnant later in the movie?
She's Tatum in Scream.
Yeah.
And she was also in Encino Man for a hot second as well as one of the students. Yes.
Weird.
She just shows up in Pauly Shore movies, I guess. Henry Gibson is the investor.
He's
you mean the inventor
so
of
much.
Gibson guitars?
Did Luck of the Irish, anyone?
Yeah,
exactly.
Wedding
He's
Crashers.
the granddad and Wedding Crashers.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, music for this movie was done by a guy named Andrew Gross.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Gross.
He was the
because it was
composer.
gross.
He was the
Does
composer for
whatever a
Tenacious
spider
D and
can.
the Pick of Destiny for the whole movie.
Okay, maybe he's not so gross.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
So that's kind of a fun little. So I assume that's why Tenacious D made a cameo in
probably
this
why,
movie.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
he
But
knows that.
all right, guys, I got a little thing for you right now. Oh yes, it's time for Jordan to explain the movie quickly.
You did that really well.
That was good.
To save the environment, you need some beer, tree decorations, and a ton of foxy babes. That's part 1. Part 2. Squirrel and Stub teach us laughing gas and girls with no bras are the way to save this planet. Donate to the cause today.
Don't forget about the chips.
Yeah. So there you go. Are you guys ready to talk about the plot real quick?
We must.
This is the
plot
plot breakdown, buddy.
I like the if we
I wonder if
must.
Pauly Shore is on Cameo.
Oh,
he's
I'm gonna look right
Look it
now.
up real quick. All right. So we open up with a 90s punk music video opening that's way too long.
And best part of the whole movie.
Yeah. Do you know the song and the band? I looked it up.
It sounded really familiar.
It's a song called A Directional by a band called Fourth Grade Nothing.
Yeah, I don't know who that
I don't
is.
know that either. You guys know the band Wax?
Wax?
Yeah. They're the band.
Motif?
No, the Wax they were the band that was playing in the Biodome party later on in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I heard the name and I think they had like a one-hit wonder back in the 90s, but I don't know.
Pauly Shore's $325.
Oh my gosh. But if we get 3 minutes of his time, that's less than a 1-900 number. No? Okay.
Wait, sorry. I was reading his profile. His profile says,
Do we have cricket sounds?
I was going to
Just-
say,
yeah, put those in.
hating yourself. All right.
"What was your joke?"
My joke was, if you got this thing for 3 minutes, that's less money than a 1-900 number.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't laugh.
Yeah, not a great joke. Not a great joke.
This is his profile. It says, "Hey, buddy, it's me."
Does it actually say, "Hey, buddy"?
Yeah, Buuddy. "Hey, buddy, it's me, Pauly. My fans are the best, and I love touring to see them, but I can't get everywhere. Need a special shout out? Let's do it." $325.
I imagine his
That's
tours.
so expensive.
I imagine his tours are just like, I'm gonna be at the local 7-Eleven from this time to this time.
Don't you
come hang out?
Don't you besmirch 7-Eleven?
No, come hang out and wheeze the juice. You know, like there you go. So we start off with this way too long thing that should not have been there.
We
find
way
out
too long thing. No.
Yeah. We learned that Biodome is a space station on Earth to do experiments for a year to try and save the environment or something. Bud and Doyle are two idiotic best friends who like to goof off and don't take anything seriously. We meet their girlfriends who are way out of their league and care about saving the planet like every girl does in the 90s. While driving, Doyle has to pee, so they sneak into the Biodome and get locked inside because they think it's a mall. Because the project costs millions of dollars, they won't let them out, so they have to stay in there for a year. The scientists make them sleep in a supply closet instead of literally anywhere else in the whole giant building.
Yeah, they're like, you sleep in this closet.
Yeah, that frustrated me so much. It's like, oh, it's millions of dollars. We can't
open the door.
Yeah,
you've only been in there
open the
1
door
minute.
and reset the clock.
Yeah, you've been in there for 1 minute.
Oh my god,
so dumb.
That just shows you how bad this movie is. Is like the whole plot can be explained by a kindergartner why it wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
this movie's terrible.
So another thing here that to Cam's point about movies being like girls always want to be with guys no matter what. Those scientist girls were like coming on to Bud and Doyle like the whole movie for some reason.
The whole time.
What's going on, Cam? You're laughing over there.
If Cole listens to this episode, get ready for a really cool present soon.
Did you just cameo?
I'm gonna pick one for him right now.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Tell us at the end of it, and I won't let Cole know.
You won't even know who it is.
Probably not. What is it? John Bolton?
Yes, it's John Bolton.
Michael Bolton's brother.
Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing.
All right.
Yeah, let's keep going.
So, also, I'm pretty sure there was some non-consensual hand stuff going on in that scene where they sneak into the beds with the girls. Not cool, Pauly Shore.
Yeah, that is
not cool.
So not okay.
Yeah, not cool. So there's tons of goofing around from Bud and Doyle. The girlfriends are kind of dumb and gullible through a lot of this movie as well, which is a stereotype of movies, I guess. The investor.
I didn't even think about that. Like, not only they're like, are they with these trash human beings, but then they like totally fall for these other guys who are just like faking it.
Yeah, they have like a total IQ of like yellow between the two of them. So
total IQ of yellow.
Yeah. So the investor keeps marketing them though, like putting them on shirts and making what are those called? Fighter robot things where the heads pop off.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
Yes, Rock'em Sock'em Robots, yes. Bud and Doyle end up getting exiled to the desert area of the dome, but they find a way out.
Destroying everything.
Yeah, and then they try to win their girlfriend's affection back by throwing a huge Save the Earth party at the dome inside because the window they found, and they end up just destroying the dome. Like the whole homeostasis is just destroyed with this. It backfires and their girlfriends are super pissed at them because they destroyed it. And so far at this point in the movie, they had only been in there for 1 month. 1 month.
That's it.
Had gone by at this point.
That's the majority of the movie.
And that's it's like an hour and 15 minutes of an hour. No, an hour and 10 minutes of an hour and a half movie. Yeah. Faulkner ends up going crazy around this time and runs off somewhere.
You mean he went coconuts?
He went. Oh,
it's really good.
Funnier than anything that's happened in this movie.
Yep. And so Bud and Doyle lock themselves with the scientists back in the biodome to say, we are going to fix this. And then Doyle swallows the key because that's a thing that humans can do, I guess. And over the next 11 months, they get homeostasis back up and they become celebrities. Crazy Faulkner returns near the end there and sets a bunch of coconut bombs up like Gilligan's Island to destroy it when it's supposed to open. And Bud and Doyle are still dimwits at this point and help him set up the bombs. Bud and Doyle, though, end up saving the day, and they get out of the dome safe, and they make out with their girlfriends, and then they kind of make out with the scientists, and are like, no, we have girlfriends.
Yeah, I love how that's like, oh, that shows they're good guys. No, they're still trash people because they still started to make out with them like nothing was wrong.
Yeah. Instead of like, they went like a good 20 seconds. I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
No.
Yeah.
That still makes you a trash
You
human
can't
being.
eat half the banana in the store and say, I'm not buying this banana. That's not how it works.
I mean, you could.
You could.
I feel like that's an Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, who knows?
You can't eat half the banana.
Can't eat half the banana.
I don't know. I've never done it, so I'm not sure. And then the end of the movie, Doyle has to pee again, so they stop at a power plant. Did you guys know there's supposed to be a sequel to this movie? As close to our time now. How would you say that?
Close to present day.
Yeah, as late as 2017, they were still talking about getting Biodome 2 off the ground.
Why?
What?
Why?
What?
Why?
Like this movie was a critical failure. I don't know. I think they're trying to crowdfund it, and they're just only made like $12 in a bag of Lay's. So I mean, it's
I could go for a bag of Lay's right
now. Bag of Lay's sound good.
So that's the end of the movie.
Hooray!
Guys, you want some fun facts?
Not particularly.
What is facts? There you go. That's all you get of the jingle.
Don't hurt me.
We already said the motto of the college. Pauly Shore also filmed another movie at the Japanese Garden called In the Army Now. You guys remember that movie? Heard of that movie?
Yes, I've heard of it.
Never seen that one either. I'm glad we didn't do a Pauly Shore month like we did Brandon Fraser. And also, Brandon Fraser month turned into not all the Brandon Fraser movies we were talking about.
We didn't even get to like the most nostalgic one.
Yeah, George of the Jungle. But maybe someday. So,
we wanted to do a full month. We did 3, and we're like, okay, we're done.
We couldn't do anymore.
So let me tell you guys why I mentioned about an autobiographical movie right here. Did you know the Biodome actually exists?
What?
All the filming inside is an actual place called the Biosphere 2 in Oracle, Arizona. That's out in the desert near Tucson.
Weird.
Interesting.
It is exactly what the Biodome is. They built it in the early 90s, so this movie drew inspiration from that. And they built it with the intention of doing an experiment where scientists would live in there to see whether or not they could create life and food and sustainability. So if we ever needed to leave the planet, you could build this giant dome sphere thing and be able to cultivate life there from nothing, essentially. It was the biggest failure of any science experiment ever.
Sounds terrible.
So it was 8 scientists for 2 years that were supposed to be in there.
Okay.
All of them suffered major psychological trauma.
The same thing where they couldn't leave?
Couldn't leave. By the end of it, they all had psychological trauma. They had to pump in oxygen because the CO2 was becoming so heavy that it was going to kill them. They had to bring in food because everything was dying and they couldn't get anything to cultivate. An ant species literally started multiplying and took over the dome. Like, they just multiplied like crazy. Cockroaches took over as well. This thing was like...
So bugs will inherit the earth.
Yeah, pretty much. This thing was like the biggest failure ever. Like, people, like scientists mock this science experiment for how bad it happened.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they tried it again. A second mission.
So it's like they tried Biodome 2.
Biodome 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. Like a few years later, they decided, all right, we're only going to do 10 months instead of 2 years. But it got canceled early because a management dispute from the company that created it got out of hand and people started destroying the biosphere. Because the company and like the workers and something happened. I'm like, oh my God, this just not. But you know what's awesome is it still exists right now and it's owned by University of Arizona and they do use it for a lot of like controlled experiments because they do have like an ocean area with a coral reef, a desert area,
that's cool.
a rainforest
That's
area.
cool.
They are like, I just paper cut myself. They are like actual like sustainability now, like because they're not trying to just lock themselves in there and stuff. But what's cool is you can go do tours there.
What's a tour?
A tour.
A tour.
And get this, my drive out to Dallas, I drive right by it, so I may stop off and go walk through the Biodome.
You should.
And
Yeah,
be
at
like,
least-
hey guys, remember this episode we did?
At least
I'm in it.
At least get a picture and then flip the camera off and send it to Wayne.
Yeah, and then Wayne can have it, and I'll
The-
sign it and send it to him.
There's something similar
Dressed
to
like
that
Pauly Shore.
in San Francisco called the California Science Center, and they have like a big rainforest, and you go up the
Yes.
multi-levels and stuff. It's really cool.
There's also hotels around the country called the Gaylord and they are hotels with rainforests inside of them, and it's actually really cool. There's
rad.
There's one in Florida. There's one in Texas. There's some other places, but those are the only 2 I've been to.
There's a rainforest over in downtown Disney. There's a cafe in it.
Cafe inside, yeah. Jurassic Fork. So, guys, that's the end of the episode.
Man.
Yeah, Schindler's Lunch. So
wow,
all my Parks and Recs friends will like that. You guys don't remember that in Parks and Rec?
No.
So, okay, they have a restaurant that's a Steven Spielberg-themed restaurant called Jurassic Fork.
Okay.
And it's got dinosaurs inside. And then, like, 2 seasons later, it closes down. And they're like, what happened? And he's like, oh, man, we just spread ourselves too thin when we opened our second location. And he's like, oh, you opened a second Jurassic Fork? And he goes, no, a different Steven Spielberg one. It's called Schindler's Lunch. And he's like, I think you missed what made this place fun. So I thought that was funny. Guys, check us out on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube. Give us a rating and a review. Go to Patreon. If you go to Patreon, we will do an episode for you, as proven by this episode. We don't care. We will do it just for you, Wayne. Thank you for your money. We give back something to him. Also, did you see the Funko
pop?
I
It was
sent
awesome.
him? Yeah,
so rad.
The Batman. That's the Dracula Batman.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, that's such a cool. I wonder if Joe Janero, right in from the comic book rundown. Do you have that comic of Elseworld or Elseworlds or whatever it's called? Or Elsewheres.
Vampire
What's
Batman?
it called? Yeah, I don't remember. Dracula versus
I believe
Batman.
it's
Elsa. Yeah. But anyway, go check us out there. We still have an Amazon link on wreckmypodcast.com.
Surprisingly.
Wow, we do.
Still there. Yeah. Every now and then people use it.
That's fun.
Yeah, I think there's like $8 sitting in the account that we have made, but they won't give it to you unless it's over 10. So go in there and make it over 10 so I get the money out. Also, thank you to Ben from Petrified Gumbo Music for making our amazing intro song. Go to petrifiedgumbomusic.com to see if he can do that. I don't even know if he still exists anymore. He hasn't responded to me the last time I emailed him, but I think he's got like a kid and he's a little busy and stuff, so who knows.
Wasn't he like, hey, I'm going to brew you guys a beer?
He was going to brew us a beer and then just never responded, but, he's a little busy, so what
Thanks,
can you
Ben.
do?
I forgot about that.
Yeah, also Redbubble. We need to come up with a new design for our Redbubble store.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm working on a few things.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. So there you go from Joe. Next week, guys, our final episode of Around a Round Table is coming out. Very last one. But don't worry, we'll have another show take its place that's similar. Just live. Live show. Yeah. So, guys, thanks for being here and watching this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are here.
Yep. And thanks to our guests. We love or not our guests, our listeners. Thanks to our listeners because we love getting wrecked with you.
Bye. I love you.
I like and I love you all.
Do you guys know who Joey's World Tour is?
Yeah, it's my world tour.
So,
which year? 2017, 2012? Which tour are we talking about here?
Joey's World Tour.
Yeah, my world tour. Which one? I've done it twice.
Joey's World Tour is this guy that goes.
That's me.
On
Stop.
He reviews fast food in his car, and he's this big fat guy.
Oh, that is you.
And he ends up going
that joke wasn't about me.
he eats his food and like reviews it, but like for some reason he just goes like woo 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 as he tastes his things.
So
I don't get it. It's like hypnotizing. And Cole and I used to watch his stupid videos because they're so bad. But
so he's Zoidberg from.
Oh, I've seen that before.
No, I'm not on crack.
Oh my.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to be living next to this guy in Texas.
Yeah. But you can. He's only $25 on Cameo.
I'm just gonna start
Krager,
randomly going.
Woo, 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 woo.
I was gonna say, Krager, I think you need a catchphrase.
Don't do anal, kids.
What are anal kids?
I tend not to do kids at all, but even more anal kids.
No,
we really need to set up a cameo though, because if we did $1, we'd probably get quite a few people. To do cameo.
Even people that didn't know what we were.
No, they'd be like, have these goober.
It's $1. Yeah,
get these goober grapes.
These goober grapes. I really liked my joke about hepatitis.
It was good. That one was great.
I just that. You know when sometimes things just roll out of your mouth and it's not vomit.
I figured out my catchphrase.
What?
Still better than parents.
No, that's actually a good one.
It's true.
It's always nice as a man to get drunk from someone else.
What is it? God damn it!
Oh
I'm
yeah,
so
you know,
tired.
like
If you don't put that at the end of the episode,
because like I'm a man, so I get drunk from when like
I get drunk from someone else.
When my waitress brings me my cocktail, someone else got me drunk.
As a straight white man, I can tell you about the struggles I go through.
Oh yeah, so many.
Oh my god,
so many. A straight white Christian Republican.
Well, let's not go too far.
Independent.
Yes.
Yeah, I lie somewhere in the middle,
Independent,
like I do in my bed.
Independent just means you vote however you vote without telling people.
I'm a neutral.
You're neutral.
Independent because I vote differently for
oh my
every.
god, it's so weird.
Every,
it's like I hear someone that's 20 minutes late.
I'm part of the Peace and Freedom Party.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe's
is that
hurting.
the new Peace Corps?
You can see it in his soul. He's hurting.
Joe's hurting.
How you doing, buddy?
Also, Tifty, bro.
Why are we're all so dang tired?
Tifty, Joe. For what? Last night.
That's all we're getting. I'm glad that we're all tired and like super lazy
better,
for this
That
episode.
happened to me multiple times the past couple months between you guys.
It's true.
It's gonna happen to me every weekend. Coming
yeah.
up. Oh man! So there's a beer out there from this brewery that's a IPA, but they put cocoa nibs in it, and I really want to try it. But they say it's like a special release, so it's not going to be there for very long.
I got a special
Where's
release
it
at the massage clinic on Lions.
Tups Brewery. Do you not hear anything? I could only hear out of one. Oh, it must have broken then. You want to get my Darth Vader ones then? Darth Vader. Luke, I am your cousin.
Oh. You have to
buy
go
one.
to the iTunes app.
Oh, the actual iTunes app.
Yeah, that's the only way you can get it on your phone.
iTunesy.
I just make mine have the ding.
Give me a check real quick, Joe.
Peener.
You still might be drunk.
Check. Check 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Peener.
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 That's so random. That's what you texted me for the thing.
Yeah. Peener? He said Peener a little bit ago.
Oh, I didn't hear.
I also texted to
Peener is
around table.
Oh. Yeah, Peener is on our
I
brain
didn't
right
realize
now.
it was to around table. Numbers are hard.
Numbers are hard. Hang on, I'm going to see. Oh, we don't have much music. Hang on.
Peener.
Well, we don't have the Biodome theme song?
You mean, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
That like super weird punk intro.
Yeah, dude.
Or was it the Spider-Man song?
Oh, yeah.
Iron Man. Iron Man. All right.
Does whatever an Iron Man
Hear
does.
this. I want to make sure we don't blow out our ears. Okay, cool.
What's going down, Dom?
Let me do the intro real quick. Peener.
That's dangerous because it sounds like something worse.
It does sound like something worse. All right.
At least we're saying it with a P. As
Peener.
in P as in potato.
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 Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Break my